All right, guys, welcome to our Dream Team Monday Night Zoom. It is August 3rd, and we are in the middle of a giant promo and so much exciting stuff happening. So I think I titled this something about something about using your time well or something like that. I don't even remember now. But I just want to, first of all, I want you guys to load the chat. Like, I want this to be a heavily chatted up session. Because I want us to share. I'm going to start throwing this out, the ideas, things that I do to be more efficient with my time. The reason I think this is important is because we talk a lot about, like, do so many reach outs, make sure you do your social media post. But for somebody new, or maybe somebody's not new, but maybe they're newly diving into the company and they've got other jobs and they've got kids and they've got all the things, they're like, how in the hell am I supposed to do all this? Like, I understand you're saying that's the way to build the business, but how can you do it and do it like an efficient way with your time? So I'm just going to throw out a couple of ideas of things that I do. One of them is actually kind of a separate topic, and I'll just start with it. One of the things that I think we can do to really save ourselves time is to utilize that customer group vibing and thriving. So just so you guys know, there was a conversation between Samantha and I forget, last Thursday or something like that. And I was talking about how the other customer group that Brittany Williams had started was so great, especially when it first started, but it's gigantic now. And I feel like customers are getting lost. I feel like comments are getting lost. It was starting to get kind of promotery. And in her defense, it's a lot to moderate and keep track of. So Samantha was like, well, why don't you start your own? Which, that's what I love about this team. We just call each other out. Like, come on, Tammy, you don't like it, do your own. So there it is. Thank you, Samantha. We have Vibing and Thriving now. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I was worried about having this other entity to keep track of and to make sure I was, keeping it interactive. You guys have done amazing. Like, I love that you have, like, just popped in there and made a post. You've popped in there and asked questions. Like, you're popping in there answering people's questions. That right there is such a time saver. So if every single potential that you invite, that's the thing. Please don't just throw people in it. Like, invite people to be in it. Let them know that there's this Facebook group that you belong to that is very motivational and supportive for health goals, recipes, tips and tricks, like, really talk it up for what it is. And they can always leave the group at any time. That's the other thing I always make sure people know. Because if you have potentials in there, someone invite me to this group? So yes, I can't do it now because I'm talking, but if someone can invite Roxana Cox to the group, please do. Any of your current Thrivers, any of your, go through your promoter list, because we all have non-promoting promoters. So they're basically just glorified customers. Add them to that group too. Because here's the thing, if there's, the way it is right now, there's enough excitement and energy and people talking about how much they love their Thrive and how it's helped them, and people throwing out, and I totally forget who did it this morning, but somebody put in there a recipe for your shake and just stuff like that to keep people excited. That takes such a load off of you. Do we go in and add our real promoter? Yes. If you have somebody, that's the thing. If somebody's truly working the business, they definitely need to be in there because they need to be able to add their promoters, and they need to make sure that, they're interacting with their promoters, or their promoters and their customers. So basically all of the Dream Team needs to be in that group. And then we need to add in our customers and our potential customers. I vote Kristen Whitmire to go live making her shake. Yes, that's awesome. It's stuff like that. I would love for people to go on their live and make their shakes. The other thing you guys can do too is, like, let's say, because I don't want to pull this away from your business. So I already know that Kristen is going live on her page. So, like, for example, Kristen, you can do your live like regular, and then we can share it into the team. Or, well, the team, they're not team, customer page. The customer group is also public, so it could be shared either way. So just make sure, if you're taking the time to do something like a live, where you're talking about your shake, like, not talking about a promo, not talking about somebody breaking a rank, nothing like that, like showing your shake or showing, maybe your Thrive Bites or whatever, something customer related. You can share it into the group, or you can share it from the group to your personal page. That's a great way to make use of your time. If somebody decides to do a live and it's just sharing a Thrive experience, like for instance, Sandra and Olivia did a dual live the other day where they just talked about, but I feel like that talked a little bit about no, did it talk about the promo some? A little bit maybe. No, it was more like the opportunity, right? And so something like that could go into the team page, that, or I have to stop calling it the customer page. Something like that could get shared into the customer page. Can you tell having a customer group is new for me? But I just appreciate you guys putting stuff in there. I appreciate you keeping it peppy and full of things. I have just a list. There will for sure be one post a day in those groups. I have Moving Monday, Testimonial Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Feature Friday, Shout Out Saturday, and Social Sunday. So those are the themes that I'll be throwing out, but you guys can run with it. You can post whatever the heck you want in there as long as it's benefiting the customer. Keep the customer in mind. But by putting your people in that group, you're taking such a weight off of yourself. Like, you know how sometimes you're like, I keep telling so-and-so she needs to thrive and blah, blah, blah. Put her in there. Let her see all the other people. It's literally massive amounts of third-party validation. People you can't get on the phone, people you can't get into a group chat. If they're up for health and wellness tips and recipes, put them in that group. They're going to be getting third-party validation whether they want it or not. So it's an excellent place to take the load off of you. So if you're one of those people who works 2 to 3 jobs and you've got some kids and you're crazy, crazy busy, I still want you obviously to make group chats with people. I want you to follow the funnel, but just know that that customer group can be part of that funnel. Anytime you want to share something into that group from the Lavelle fan page or from the YouTube, that's cool too. Now, I don't want it to be where that customer group has, you know, a post popping up every 10, 15 minutes. I think, 3 to 4 a day are plenty. We don't want to be like that group that drives people nuts. But if you have something and you're inspired and you're like, I want to share it in that group, go for it. If for some reason it's not compliant or it's too promotery, I will delete it. Don't get your feelings hurt. I'm just doing that job, right? Roxanne, I'm over here working at the gas station on the Zoom and trying to take notes. I love it. Well, hopefully I make it worth your while. Okay, so the customer group is definitely a number one way to save time. Another way is, and we talked about this last night on the power plan, but I know there's a lot more of you on here tonight, is using the search button in Messenger. So when you're trying to go find your customer or your potentials, or maybe you woke up one day and you're like, Tammy said I need to reach out to 10 people and I don't know anybody else to reach out to. I've reached out to everybody under the sun. Go into your Messenger and type in some keywords: weight loss, sleep, aches and pains, money, because I bet a lot of people are like, I don't have the money right now. Or you could type in too expensive. If you have the word expensive in there, that's probably someone who you can talk to about the 20% off and the free box of shakes. I have so many people in my old messages back before that was an option. We didn't all have this extra box of shakes until a few months back. So anybody that's past older than that, that's a new way to talk to them about the value of the product that they've not heard of. And please, as I'm talking, if you have something you do that saves you time as a promoter, start filling up the chat for me, because I mean, my brain's pretty good, but I know you all have good brains too. So something I also do when I'm going through my chats, I very honestly have told you guys time and time again, I can be a squirrel when it comes to social media. I can have the best intentions to get on and do 10 reach outs, and on number 2, I'm on a TikTok video somehow. I don't even know how this stuff happens. So what I do when I'm going to do my reach outs is I actually go to my Facebook page. I click my friends button. Now, I do this from my PC because again, for me, if I'm on my phone, I'm probably scrolling. So I go to my friends button and I start going through my friends. And as soon as I see a name, I'm like, oh, I right click on the name, which will open that profile in a new tab. So I will go through and open 10, 20, 30 tabs. And then I will go one by one to close out those tabs. So what happens is when I click the tab, it takes me directly to, say, Courtney's profile. I see right away she was in Put-in-Bay over the weekend. I see right away she and Mike have done something with some business where they're talking about this money they made. I can see that. So I immediately have something to comment or send a message about, like, hey, Court, saw you were at Put-in-Bay. Where'd you guys stay? We've been dying to go there, but I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe I go to my next tab and it's Lisa, and I see Lisa out walking on her country road. and I send her a message, Lisa, I'm so proud of you. You've been walking. You've been so consistent. You've inspired me to start walking. What kind of shoes are you wearing on these walks? Because that's the thing. I don't know, like ask a question, right? And so I can one by one see the person I want to talk to and then close out of that tab. See the next person and then close out of that tab. Because if you are scrolling through Facebook looking for someone that's talking about, I need to lose weight or I need more energy, first of all, you're going to have to scroll a bunch. Secondly, you're going to waste a lot of time, and we don't have a lot of time. Like I've already said, I know all of you guys have extra jobs. So that is one thing that really helps me. TJ says, yeah, using the emojis. So what he's talking about is when you set up a group chat with somebody, and TJ actually used you as the example last night on the power plan. So I know immediately when my phone dings and I see a little pink flower, I know right away that that's a group chat that I'm in with TJ, because that's what he's done. If he has a customer or a potential customer in a group chat with me, it starts with a pink flower and then it's called Beth's chat or Beth's Thrive chat or whatever he calls it. But I know right away. And so what is the bonus of that is as TJ's day is going along and he's talking to friends and people are messaging him and maybe he's in his upline chat, maybe he's got all this other stuff going on, but he's like, okay, I'm going to sit down and spend the next 10 minutes going through my chats that I've created with potential customers. All he has to do is go into the search menu and put in that pink flower and all those will pop up for him first. So I know I'm a pink flower and I know his other upline, Samantha, is a cactus. I know Sandra does a cowboy. Like I know, and it's funny because I know that you guys use it to organize, but I appreciate it too because the second I see it, I know right away. Like I don't know the customer, but I know right away what team member I'm working with. So it's a great way to save you time versus trying to go through and find the chat that maybe you've forgotten about. Get a ton of reach outs done. Yeah, you can get a ton of reach outs done in a short time when you are doing that right click thing. Sonia, I really need to organize. My life is chaos right now. Thanks for the ideas. Sweet Pea, you are welcome, and that is what we are here for. Okay, something else that you guys can do, and Laura Warnsman is really good about this. I am super duper not really good about it. I always say I'm going to. When you save photos and things like that in your phone, create albums. So if you make a Facebook story or an Instagram story, save it in your albums. If you're going through stories and you're like, oh, that one that Sonia did this morning with the capsules and the shake, that's really good. You can screenshot it. How do you say that? Anyway, you can capture that and you can save it. So then put it in a file, social media stories. That way when you've got that 2 minutes where you're going to the bathroom and you're like, oh, I can do a story really quick. You don't have to create something new and you don't have to scroll through your phone and try to remember if it was 2 weeks ago that you saw that you took it and liked it. You can just go to the Instagram story idea and you have it right there. So are these emojis? Yes. Okay. So sorry. Thank you. Let me backtrack. So when people are creating so when you create a group chat, the first thing you do is you just put like the group in it. So it'd be like me, Laura, and TJ. But then after I've established that group chat, now I can name it. I can give that chat a name. And so I start the name of the group chat with the emoji. Like I put the people's name in it and then you put the emoji in there. If you already have, which a bunch of you already have, a chat's already started. So all you have to do is go in and rename the chat. Like you don't have to start brand new chats or anything like that. Just go in and rename it. And if I've never had anybody ask me like, hey, why did you rename our chat and put the puppy dog face on it? Well, duh, it's me. It's Tammy. I like dogs. Of course I put a chat, like whatever. Like most people don't even care. Yeah, good point. Okay, so back to the story, saving other people's stories. When you are going through Instagram and you're like, oh my gosh, Laura Wernsman's story today was awesome. I want that too. Hold your finger on your screen for a hot second and at the top where it says, or at the bottom it says send a message and then the menu's at the top. When you click it and hold that down, that will fade away. And then you'll just have a clean screen of that picture. That's when you can do the screenshot to save it. And when you change the name to your group chat, it will bump it up to the top of Messenger for you and the person who you haven't talked to in a long time. So if nothing else, it's going to be a little reminder for them. And I know I'm going fast through all this stuff, but it's because I want to make sure I give as many ideas as possible. Okay, and a lot of times I see people struggling, like, I don't know what to post, or I don't know where to get this graphic, or I don't know what to do. You guys, you have the Lavelle Facebook fan page, you have the Lavelle Instagram, you have the Lavelle YouTube channel, you have the Lavelle blog. If you go onto Google and type in LE-BEL blog, there's tons of information on this blog about healthy lifestyles, and all the articles are written that will lead people back to thrive. So even on the days when you have absolutely no energy, you can't do anything in the world, I can guarantee you can click the copy link from a YouTube and you can save it and share it. Like bare minimum, you could at least be doing that. So I know people don't have a lot of time, where again, I know time is priority. So there's probably something, we'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah, like there's so many things available. And then just this week, whatever it was. Yeah. Okay. So, all the new graphics. So if you go into the cloud, into the company updates, they released a ton of already pre-made graphics that fit perfectly for Instagram and Facebook stories. So you don't even have to be smart. You just have to be able to put it on there. Yeah, the graphics are awesome. And that's the other thing too, I know sometimes it's fun to make your own graphic. I love doing that too when I have the time. But just remember, your graphics have to be compliant. And so if you're making a graphic with a lot of words and a lot of stuff on it, you might be crossing the line somewhere. So it's just such a time saver. Use what's already there. Plus it has a consistent look. That's marketing, you guys. When you see a Coca-Cola ad, you know it's Coca-Cola, because why? It's the exact red and the exact lettering. There's no wavering on it. So when people see the word Lavelle or people see the word Thrive, it needs to be the exact lettering. It needs to be the exact colors. And that's what triggers in their head. If you're changing it up and you're making your Thrive a different font, and you're making your Lavelle pink when it's clearly orange, purple, blue, or green, or orange, purple, blue, or green, then you're thrown in a whole other color. So I don't want to smush your creativity, but I'll just be really honest, making a new graphic with pink's not making you any money. So just use what's already out there. Now, if you are doing a graphic for something that like you're offering, like say you're offering a 10% off or something like that, I understand that you're going to have to like make your own. But again, if you're like for the background image, just grab something that already exists. It's a high quality photo that's already out there that you can use. Okay, let me keep looking here. Okay, so I have 10 minutes left. Please keep filling up the chat if you think of things, because I know a lot of you that are on here right now, you've been promoting for a while. Our team has grown significantly. So put yourself back in the mindset of when you were new. What did you do that wasted time that now you're like, oh, I don't do that anymore. This is what I do instead. That's the kind of stuff I want to share tonight. So I used to scroll through Messenger from top to bottom looking for who haven't I talked to, or what was that girl's name that talked to me about weight loss? Well, now I know I can just type in a search word. I'm guilty. I do still go through my photo albums quite a bit because I don't have them organized, but it is on my list. So there's a lot of things. Like I used to rack my brain about what is my social media post going to be today. And now I just have a theme for the day. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the replay from last night's power plan, because I dove into that. You can search photos. I can on my phone. Oh my gosh. We'll have to have a class on that tomorrow or Wednesday. See, I'm getting smarter by the day. Okay. So the last 10 minutes, here's something I want to dive in with you guys that I want you to really think about. And this is for all of you who have ever had that moment where you're like, I don't have time. Because we've all had that moment where we're like, I don't have time. If you want something in life, if you want to add something to your life, right? So you want to add an income, you want to add a free car, you want to add a vacation, you want to add a team that's growing, you want to add customers out the yin yang, you got to take something out. Your life has to be in balance somewhat. So if you are going to add in, say, 6 new customers this month, you're going to have to take something away, because those 6 new customers are going to take time and effort. And then when you get them, as exciting as to get them, I mean, raise your hand. New customers are a handful, right? Wait, where did I put this? Like they tell you they know everything. And then the box comes and they're like, I didn't know there was a shake mix. What do I do with this sticker? Where's it go? Do I wear it at night? Can I take my shake with, I mean, you know, once you have a newbie, it takes a lot of time. Does anyone have graphics for a vision board? Does anyone have graphics for vision board customers and promoters? I don't understand that question. Oh, you mean to put on your vision board of customers and promoters?
To help me concentrate on what I need to do.
Oh, well, because I'm looking on my vision board, I have, it's a cartoon, but it's a hand holding a magnet, and underneath the magnet, all the customers are being drawn up to the magnet because I want to draw people to me. So is that what you mean? Like something like that? Yeah, like you want to be a magnet to new people. I just Google that stuff. I type in, I want to attract new customers, and then I click the image button and I just see what it pops up. Yeah, I have someone I want to refer, and then 2 days later, I hate this stuff so much. I'm in that chat with TJ. That's why he's putting that on there. Customers are hard. The infamous, my tummy hurts. It has to be Thrive. Yeah, I mean, heaven forbid someone ever, I don't know, ate something that bothered their stomach. But of course, it would be that Thrive stuff. I keep a notebook handy during my workday, and if I have a few minutes to scroll Facebook, I write down the names of people who post, and then when I get home, I put them on Messenger. Yes, my uterus hurts. That's a true story, you guys. Okay, but so back to Lisa's point. Here's my thing. Busy people get stuff done, right? I mean, you guys know that. There are times in your life where you are so busy and you're like, man, I am killing it. You go to bed at night and you're like, I don't even know how I did all 8,000 things I did today, but I did. And then there's a day where you have 2 things to get done, and it'll be like 8 p.m. And you're like, well, you know what? I haven't done anything today, right? You know what I'm talking about? So if you were to put yourself in the position of, I'm trying to sneak Thrive in with my other job. So like Lisa is at work at her day job, but she has a little notebook. And when she gets a chance, she writes stuff down. And she writes stuff down. She's like a little squirrel. She's like filling that little notebook up, right? And then she goes home and does it. Whereas if she was home all day Sunday, she might not even think to do that. So if you just keep yourself in the mindset of, I've got to do what I can while I can. I got to do what I can while I can. Like I just told Tom today, I feel like I had a great schedule going, and then we had the pandemic shutdown thing, and I didn't have like a schedule, kind of, sort of. It was weird. And then we were getting a schedule back, and we started a new business. So I realized in the last few weeks that my schedule needed tweaked again, and I needed to like get a hold of my schedule. So I need to get my personal development back in there, but I still need to do laundry. So what do? I listen to books while I fold clothes. I needed to get caught up on Zooms, but I needed to get my butt back into some cardio. So what did I do? I listened to my Zooms while I rode my bike. So you just have to make the decision of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and how you're going to fit it in together. And that brings me back to my point of, if you want to add something, you've got to take something out. So I'm not going to say what it is that you use that wastes time, because I have no idea. I will fess up to you right now. I am a huge YouTube fan. I have a female gardener I follow. She does a video every day, and hell or high water, I watch it. It's usually 15 to 20 minutes. And then I have a farmer that I love to watch, and I watch him every night before I go to bed, and he's usually 15 to 20 minutes. And those are my guilty pleasures. The rest of the day, our TV's not on. That's not a part of our day. We just go, go, go. So there could come a time when I'm like, you know what? The garden girl or the farmer is going to have to take a couple nights off. And it's happened, and it's okay. It's just flipping YouTube. I'll catch them later, right? So I want you to think about what it is that you're doing that could be an opportunity to multitask. Like, for example, Lisa does a great job. She's been going on her nightly walks or morning walks. It's nightly? It's a night, right? Nighttime. I must see them in the morning on your stories. So she goes on her nightly walk. I don't know if she's listening to anything, but she for sure makes her Instagram story and Facebook story while she's doing it. So right there, 2 birds, 1 stone, right? So what can you do at the same time to condense what you need to get done? And if you're thinking that way, that's when you start thinking of things like, oh, you know what? Instead of trying to rack my brain every day, I'm just going to come up with a theme for the day. And that's what I'm going to post about on social media. I'm just going to go in and search my messenger because I don't have time all day to scroll through here and see who I haven't talked to. That whole right click thing to go through my reach outs, that was out of desperation, because every time I would go to reach out to someone, my Facebook screen would skip and it would go back to the top. and I'd have to scroll back down and start all over. And I was like, well, this is for the birds. So it comes out of necessity of when you are busy. And it's just, you set the speed. Oh, Samantha, if I clean and listen to personal development, I clean faster and better. You know what? I have noticed that too. I am much more efficient in the folding and like the wiping of things if I've got like something pumping my ears up. I'm a scroller just saying I need to focus. Okay, so Sonia, set something for yourself. Next time you realize you're scrolling, what can you do instead? Like, and I don't know the answer to that. You might just have to say, okay, next time I'm scrolling. So when are you scrolling? Is it when you need to be going to bed? Is it when you need to be maybe, was that a yes? Okay. So perhaps you turn your phone off. I know it's a tough one. And I have honestly been known to do this. Like I turn it off and then I lay it like this because this phone doesn't, but my old phone used to have like a little light that would blink. And I would literally lay in bed and be like, and if I saw the light, I'd be like, somebody needs me. No, they don't need you. It was somebody making a ha-ha on a Facebook post. So flip that phone over. You guys are all laughing because you've been there. And Laura says, LOL, I just told my son that I'm working 3 jobs right now. Thrive Zoom, day job, extra work at home, and being his mom. Those are all 3 very important and hard jobs, especially that last one of being his mom. Shantae, Sonia, I played Mahjong before bed because I need distraction to put me to sleep. I can get lost for hours on TikTok. Yeah. And here's the thing, you guys. How about you put the phone down, you get the sleep you need, you get the work done that you need to do, so that, I don't know, in 6 months to a year, you can sit by a pool and play TikTok all damn day. You can sit by the pool and be tired and take a nap because you were up all night having fun because why? You have residual income that's paying your bills. TikTok might be gone in a year. Oh, there'll be something better. Don't you worry. But you know my point. You totally get my point. I should be prepping for the next day. Okay. Oh, fear. Yes, she's got FOMO, you guys. Fear of missing out. I know that Samantha isn't actually like able to like, I mean, I know she's on here with us. But so I was thinking about this weekend because you guys, I don't know if you're not on Sam's team, you may not know this, but she went off the grid for 2 solid days at the end of the month with the kickoff to a new month. Like saying it out loud gives me like massive panic attacks. But I also knew in my heart of hearts that when she got home and opened her phone, probably 80% of the things that she got will have already taken care of themselves, not actually have been important to begin with. And the things that she could deal with could be dealt with on a Monday like the rest of the world. So that whole fear of missing out is actually causing you to miss out because you are missing out on sleep, which means you're missing out on having a clear head, which means you're missing out on being productive, which means you're missing out on making that money. So I have to remind myself of that because I am a little social butterfly and I need to know who's having a baby and who had a grad party and, oh, did that girl just really snap off like that on Facebook about her friend from high school? I get in it. I'm all up in there and I'm like screenshotting and sending it to people. Did you see what so-and-so said? And then I have to like stop myself and be like, okay, all right. Gossiping about high school girls is not paying my bills. So I get the FOMO. I totally get it. But I also remind myself that the thing I think I'm missing out versus what I'm really missing out, I would rather make money than see who's mad at so-and-so. Sam says it was hard. I am sure it was hard. Like the morning I woke up and they dropped the double triple and I was like, oh my God, Samantha doesn't know about this. I almost had like an aneurysm for you. But I also knew you were only missing a couple of days and we had 12 whole days. And I know you're a rock star and can do it. So I was like, she's fine. Like, just chill out. She's fine. I had more anxiety than probably you did. But would you agree with that? I don't know if you can type or anything, but would you agree that when you did finally open your phone today that oh, there you are, that there was nothing drastic, major, crazy that we can't hear you. Oh, where'd she go?
There we go. Can you see me? We just got home from grocery shopping. I'm multitasking. Yeah, I had like 187 messages. And I even found a way to like clear them off in between. So there was even more than that. But most of them were group chats that already had another leader in them so a lot of it wasn't like new messages. It was just like I was in the loop, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, we need Sam's answer right now. It was all manageable. So it actually worked out because this morning when I started going back through and answering them, it like re-popped up for like customers that were asking questions or where the chat just like died out. And then when I popped back in this morning and I'm like, sorry guys, I was, off the grid, but I'm back now. And if you have any questions, I'm here for you. A lot of them actually picked up the conversation again where they were just like kind of waiting on the customer or potential customer to reply. So it actually almost worked out better.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember a long time ago, Lindsay had said, if you tell your family you're going to do something, you have to follow through with it. So even though we actually came home early, I promised them a weekend off the grid. I totally could have just been like, oh, we came home early, so I'm going back to work. But I didn't. And it felt good both ways. I refreshed my mind because I didn't realize how much I was really on my phone until I was off of it.
Yep.
And like you said, it wasn't like any fires I had to put out where it was like unmanageable. So it was totally worth it. I tried my hardest to wait until the very end of the day, Eastern time, before I actually could go off the grid. And then I figured, okay, it's the first of the month. It's not like, I didn't know they were going to drop double, triple or anything crazy like that, but it was totally fine. And it was totally worth it. Russell actually got pictures of me building a fire with Leroy. I thought that was so cute, and just like things I probably would have not been participating in had I been like FOMO.
I say that's
Like,
the
what am I missing out on my phone?
You the fear of missing out on this double triple, but you would have missed out on building a fire with Leroy. And let's be honest, someday when they're putting like a headstone next to you, what matters most? So it's important you got to remember why you're working this job so hard. I mean, they say it all the time, like, what's your why? What's your why? Well, if you're building this business because you want some free, like, okay, Sonia, I'm going to pick on you. If you want the freedom to get on that bike and ride anytime you want, you got to put that damn phone down and go to bed at night. And I mean, if like when you hear it that way, then you're like, oh, that's my ride time. Like, that's important. Like, I better get to sleep so I can work really hard during the day so I can take these trips whenever I want. Olivia, yes, I need to disconnect for a couple of days with my family after double triple. So think about that. So, I'm not telling everybody you don't have to throw your phone away, but at the same time, when you are on it, here's the thing. People will tell me all the time, my husband's pissed, I'm on my phone. My husband's pissed, I'm on the phone. Okay, well, if you're really diving in and you're searching Messenger and you're right clicking to open chats so that you just are only talking to people about Thrive, and you're only getting on doing 3 to 4 posts a day, and they are specific to something that you've already figured out you're going to do, you won't be on your phone the whole time. It's when you're on your phone scrolling and you're on your phone like trying to figure out what you're going to do, what you're going to talk about. And I talked about this last night. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to post about. I'll go see what that Courtney Glazer posted about because she's killing it. I'm gonna go copy her. Well, then you're like in a rat trap scrolling through Courtney's page. And you're like, well, who is this girl? I didn't even know she was a 200K. I've never heard of her before. You click on her page and then you're like, right? So if you have a goal, like I know tomorrow is for my Thrive business is Transformation Tuesday. I know for the Ben Boss, it's Testimonial Tuesday. And for the customer group, it's also Testimonial Tuesday. That right there takes a load off me. So if you've got people that are like, you're on your phone too much, or you're thinking you're on your phone too much, husbands aren't mad when they get commission on Tuesday under their account for doing nothing. Snap back. I'm giggling because I totally agree. When we go on our walk at night, I leave my phone at home so I'm not working. Yeah, like it's okay. You guys, like people who have JOBs, like they let you clock in and clock out. So this is your business. But here's the thing. When you clock in, you got to get jiggy. You can't clock in and scroll TikTok for an hour. You can't, that's not paying your bills. So if you want to have more clock out time, make sure when you're clocked in that you are working. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight because I think it's really easy to spend a lot of time that's not productive. So, I mean, I don't know. My only advice is go get yourself another job, because then you're like, shit, I got to get all this done in one day. I got to be really productive now. Like, just stay focused. I'm on my phone way too much. I need to take a break this weekend. Yes, do what you need to do. Just know. And that's the thing too. So like, if you said to your boss, hey, I'm not going to be in this weekend, I need a break, damn straight, they're going to be like, that's fine, but make sure XYZ is done before you walk out that door. So have the same conversation with yourself. It is fine to put your phone down. It is fine to close the computer. It is fine. Like, you guys know I love my garden. I go out there. I don't have my phone. I mean, sometimes I do because I take pictures, but I'm not like working in the garden. But before I go out there, my shit's done. Right? So it's okay. Like, again, you got to treat this like a business if you want it to pay it like a business. People that have hobbies dilly around with this and they dilly around with that and they go here and they're like, oh, so much fun. And hobbies cost a lot of money. If you think of your favorite hobby, I can guarantee it ain't free, right? And it takes you here, there, and everywhere. But your job, where you're like on it and you're making the money and you're doing the thing, cool, okay? I almost need to give myself, you can totally give yourself business hours. Laura Wordsman and I had this conversation a long time ago. Children, I go to bed early. Where's Danielle? If she's on here, she's going to laugh because she always teases me. I go to bed early because I get up early. So there's only one night of the month that I will break that rule, and that is only if I have somebody shooting for a bonus and it is the last day of the month. Otherwise, I do the thing where I'm like, night, night, everybody, and I put the phone down. And some people are like, oh, I can't believe she went to bed. Okay, well, guess what? I'm going to return your message at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, like, you got to do what works for you, okay? So it's okay to do that. But just remember, when I put my phone down at night, I don't have 17 things on my to-do list that aren't done. They're done. That's why I put my phone down, okay? So you decide what it is that you need to get done during the day. Double up as much as possible. Like, people are like, I don't have time to do reach outs and self-development. Bull crap. Next time you're in the shower, listen to a Zoom. Next time you're driving to work, listen to a book. There's your self-development. Now do your reach outs while you're on the potty. I've got you beat with my 3. TJ, I do not want your alarm clock, okay? Mine is at least cute and fuzzy and furry. Olivia, we got our group. Yeah. Sometimes the group, like my little accountability group, like Lucy got me up at 2 o'clock this morning. I did not go in the group at 2 a.m. though, because I never know if your guys' phones are turned off. I don't want to wake anybody up. But anyway, I hope this helped. I hope this gave you ideas of how to be more productive in the time that you're using so that you're not wasting time. Because if there is one thing in life that you're going to look back on and wish you had more of, it's time with family, with friends, with children. You're always going to wish you had more time. So when you are working this business, work it. That way you're, making that money. So anyway, I hope this helps. I'll put the video up and you can share it with your teams. Bye.